back. We'll start with test management, that is fifth chapter. In fifth chapter, we'll talk about test organizations, how the test organizations may look like, test planning and estimation. What do we mean by test planning? What do we mean by estimation? Test monitoring and control, configuration management will briefly touch upon, and risks and testing, how they go hand in hand, and defect management. Without any delay, let's look at a test organization. So a test organization can be independent testing, or the testing teams and the development teams could be independent, and or they need not be. And next thing is what tasks generally managers perform and what tasks tester perform. So let's look at 5.1.1. So in 5.1.1 is about independent testing. So here there could be five possible combinations. First one is no independent testers as such. Developers themselves do testing. And next level is independent developers and testers within the same unit. The developers and testers are segregated, but they are within the same unit. Or there could be independent test team. Test team could be independent in nature, or independent testers from business organizations. So there are some organizations where test vertical is totally different, and such independent testers from business organizations could be focusing on usability aspect, security, or they could be focusing on performance, and they could be focusing on portability. Okay. Now, independent testers external to organization, in some cases, it could be in-house or it could be outsourced altogether. So these are the various combinations possible, and what are the potential benefits of independent test teams. Okay, so independent test teams are likely to recognize different kind of failure. So the independent test teams, they bring in a different perspective, and they generally find failures which developers they themselves wouldn't have, and then an independent testers can verify, challenge, or disprove assumptions. Okay, challenge is most important here. An independent tester can verify, challenge, or disprove assumptions. So generally, if they are independent entity, they will not be under some kind of obligations or stress while reporting the issues. And independent testers of vendors, right? They can upright and in an objective manner report the problems. If testers belong to a vendor, they can report an issue in upright and objective manner. Okay. And what are the potential drawbacks of having separate test teams? Okay, the drawbacks of having separate test team is isolation from development team. Okay, so two teams will function separately, so there will be lack of collaboration, there will be delay in feedback. So two teams will be functioning independently, so there will be collaboration problem, or delay in communication, delay in feedback, those kind of issues arise. And developers may start feeling testing is anyway testers responsibility, so they may lose a sense of responsibility for quality. Okay. And in some cases, a development team sees the test teams as bottlenecks. Okay, and independent testers may lack some important information about the test object. If they are from different team, they may not have all the information that they need to have about the test object. That is what is being tested. Okay, that is 5.1.1. Now let's look at 5.1.2, tasks of test managers and tester. Okay, generally test manager is tasked with overall responsibility. So overall responsibility of the project lies on the shoulders of a test manager. Typical test managers tasks are as follows. Okay, Basically, he develops and reviews the policy. Test policy document is a higher level document which talks about the policy being followed towards testing, or plan test activity considering the context. Okay, for this context, what is the test activities which are suitable he or she plans, and writing and updating the test plan. Okay, and then coordinating the test plan with project managers. Like if there is a separate project manager, test managers, right, they have to coordinate the test plan with project managers. Share the testing perspective. Okay, for example, share the testing perspective with other stakeholders. Initiate analysis, design, implementation, execution, and they monitor the test process. Prepare and deliver test progress reports, basically, which helps other people to know where the testing activity is, basically progress is reported. Adapt planning based on test results and progress. So if there is any adoption needed, that is being taken care of by the test managers. And then test managers also help in setting up defect management system. So Jira, those kind of defect management tools you might have heard, right? Jira, Azure DevOps, Qtest, okay, or ALM. So those kind of defect management systems, they help in setting up. They also introduce suitable metrics for measuring and progressing and evaluating the quality. So suitable metrics are introduced, which help in gauging where the quality of the product is. Okay. And support selection and implementation of tools. Like generally, they are the ones who decide which tools are most apt for the project. And most importantly, promote and advocate, testing as such within the organization. So they will also tell what is the importance of testing. So they advocate about the testers, test team, test profession, and testing in general. And they are also responsible for developing skills and careers of the testers. Okay, so these are the tasks of a test manager. As you might have seen, the list is very long. So managers do lot of test managers do lot of work. So these are the responsibilities. What we discussed were responsibilities of the test manager. Now, let's talk about the responsibilities of tester. So testers basically they review and contribute to the test plans. Okay, although they might not be writing the test plans themselves, they help test managers. So they contribute and analyze, review, and assess the requirements. Why? Because the test case development is on the basis of requirements. Test requirements, and identify and document the test condition, and they capture traceability between test cases and test bases. Okay, so generally traceability, which test case is for which test basis, that kind of a traceability they maintain. And design, setup, and verify test environment. Basically, the environment that is needed for executing the test cases, that is taken care by the testers. And most importantly, they do design and they do implement test cases. And they also acquire test data needed for the testing. Okay, and they prepare detailed test execution schedule. Test execution schedule responsibility lies with the manager, but detailed test execution schedule is done by testers. Okay, and they execute the tests. Okay, evaluate the results and document deviations if any. If there is any deviation, they do document it. And they use appropriate tools to facilitate the test process. So they use it, they don't choose it, but they use appropriate tools and automate tests as needed. Okay, if something needs to be automated, they do automate tests as needed. And they are also responsible for non-functional characteristics evaluation and review tests developed by the others. So not only they develop the test cases, they also review the test cases developed by the others. So that marks end of 5.1. Let's meet in 5.2.